Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is the UFC on Fox 6 post-fight recap with Bear Thunder Heart, Johnson versus Dodson. And tonight, well, I am at someone else's house as a returning guest. However, this is the post-fight recap with Bear Thunder Heart, and in this show, I do have a returning guest. His name is Hioki.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, and so it's such a cool dude right here. As my returning guest. So, anyways, we're just gonna wing it, talk about it a little bit, and whatever he knows, we'll talk about it. If he doesn't know, we'll just go right through it. So here we go. Now, in this Facebook fight, Simeon Thoresen versus David Mitchell, and the winner is David Mitchell, unanimous decision. And Rafael Natal versus Shawn Spencer, and the winner is Rafael Natal via submission. So excellent job. And now this is something you remember. Would you remember a fight of Mike Russow versus Shawn Jordan, and the winner is Shawn Jordan unanimous decision? Would you be able to recall that fight?
I just saw very little of it. That's when I began to tune in. So I just know that Shawn Johnson was from Albuquerque, and I was happy he won.
Okay, cool.
I have no details on it though. Just I caught the latter part of it.
All right. That's fair enough. That's fair enough because I missed that one. So either way, Shawn Jordan, congratulations on your victory. And now this is something you really need to tell me because I actually didn't see it. You actually saw most of the whole thing, which is Ryan Bader versus Vladimir Matyushenko, sorry. And the winner is Ryan Bader via submission with a guillotine choke. Now I got to see the result of it, but explain to the audience what you saw.
Oh, Bader was outstanding. He was great. He just came out with the mental state, took it to him, record-breaking time. It was great. He needed that win, so it was good.
Yeah, and
short but good.
Oh well, definitely. And that was another thing too. The guillotine choke was his weakness in the past.
It was, but I think he's been training for this. I think he wanted it. He knew what he was doing. So great for him. Excellent,
great for him. So congratulations, Ryan Bader. Let's see if he comes back. Let's see if he comes back stronger. I know he's had some big time losses.
Yeah, he was due for a good one.
But this was definitely, and I've seen the results of it. How he had it. Basically, how he also not only did he have him in a guillotine choke, but he also had him in an angle with a guard too, and an angle too to his Matyushenko's right leg. So he really had the leverage advantage to force him to tap out that way. So congratulations, excellent Ryan Bader, excellent. All right, Mike Stumpf versus Pascal Krauss, and the winner is Pascal Krauss via unanimous decision. I mean, this was definitely this was like a slugfest for the most part. But Pascal Krauss really had a technical skill tonight. Mike Stumpf, I hate to say it, and it's a pun intended, got stumped. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, what do you think about that fight?
That was a good fight. It was pretty much the way you called it. It was good, though. Impressive.
Yeah, and so Stumpf really hung on in there tough, but Pascal Krauss really had the technique with the strikes going in his favor. And, Mike Stumpf may realize at some point he cannot just try going toe-to-toe so much. He may need to get more technical at some point. But at least Pascal tonight is your night, so congratulations. And this fight right there was pretty good too. Guida versus Hatsu Hioki, and the winner is Guida via split decision. Now, even though Guida got a decision and so forth, but I personally think that it was supposed to be Hatsu Hioki should have won because it was Hatsu, even though Guida did take him down, yes, but Hatsu had him under control even when he was on his back. I mean, Guida didn't even have a great advantage to really do any real damage towards Hioki. And also the fact of the matter is that Hioki was outstriking him despite all this bouncy energy that he had. Joe Rogan even said that he's going to have to find a way to work through all that crazy energy that he did, and he did. But I guess, and then on top of that, there's one particular judge score about, 30 to 27, and Joe Rogan said he should have been fired, and Gary, let me tell you, I couldn't agree with him more on that one. What do you think about that? Do you really think that Guida won, or do you think Hatsu Hioki won? I just thought that was a little bit shady.
Personally, I don't know what fight you guys were seeing, man. I love Guida. He was the aggressor. I think he kept scoring and aggressing. I think Guida took it. I really do.
Yeah, but but the thing about it was, Guida didn't really land any really good shots on him. I mean, it was Hioki who had some crispier shots, and even though yes, Clay Guida did take him down, that's probably why they did it. But even he didn't even have real great control though.
I think point-wise is how he won it. Point-wise, it was actually a pretty close fight.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, congratulations to Clay Guida. Anyway, I just felt that it was just sorry judging, but nothing hating on towards Clay Guida. I like him, so he's cool anyway. So congratulations, Clay Guida, on it. Even though I don't agree with the decision, but congrats anyway. Now, T.J. Grant versus Matt Wiman. And the winner is T.J. Grant via knockout. I mean, devastating knockout. What did you think about that?
That was impressive too. I never even heard any of the fighters, so I was tuned in. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing about it was T.J. Grant had him rocked, with two elbow strikes, and that's what was starting to begin and the end. And even though it was a striking battle and they were clinching and everything, but that's what happened when he clinched. Even in the middle, the first time he had him elbowed twice, but then the second time around when he had him elbowed again, it was against the cage, and that's when he had him so good. One to the jaw and then one to the temple, really rocked him, and that's when T.J. Grant just went at him and knocked him out with hammer fists and everything. So congratulations, T.J. Grant, on an excellent victory there. And the next one is Erick Koch versus Richardo Lamas. And the winner is Richardo Lamas via TKO victory. I mean, that was another devastating. I mean, what did you think about that victory?
It was great. Richardo Lamas, he's impressive. He keeps getting better every time. He's due for a good title fight, I'd say here shortly. Because,
I mean, it was just, and then the top of that was just the way he just, rocked him and TKO'd him. And, I mean, wow. I mean, it was just, I mean, he came at him. I mean, he came back, and, I mean, people, because I wasn't sure that he really had Erick Koch's number, coaches, I mean, but, man, he took him down, and he just started really pounding on him.
Good-looking fighter.
Yeah, so congratulations. Richardo Lamas, definitely one of the best victories I've seen in a while. And another one of the best victories I've seen in a while, oh my goodness, is Anthony Pettis versus Donald Cerrone, and the winner is Anthony Pettis via TKO. Now, with all this trash talking that Donald Cerrone said in the media that Anthony Pettis is scared of him and everything, yeah, I don't think that was the case tonight. If anything, Anthony Pettis was, of course, a little careful, but when he had an opening, wow, he TKO'd him with some nice kicks, not only to his ribs. I mean, he did it like several times, even struck him and kicked him, and even like did a flying knee to the head against the cage. I mean, what comment on this? What kind of fight did you thought you were seeing tonight? I mean, it was amazing.
I loved it. I seen a lot of live fights of Donald Cerrone, but Anthony Pettis, he's the guy. Right now, he's the guy, I would say.
And do you feel that he deserves a title shot in the next one, or do you feel someone else, or do you feel he needs to just wait a little longer for it?
It all depends on the big guy, Mr. White.
Well,
White.
And that's just it. Anthony Pettis was like, what do I got to do to get a shot?
He'll get one.
Exactly. So just be patient, Anthony. You'll get your turn. And believe me, I have a feeling that either one of the two or the other, either Benson Henderson's going to keep it, or he'll do it again by beating Benson Henderson. Would that be ironic again? And that he beats the same man who he beat for the WEC lightweight championship. I mean, could history repeat itself at some point? We shall see when Dana White makes a decision. So, make it a good one. Anyways, and then the next decision is a co-main event of Quinton Rampage Jackson versus Glover Teixeira. And the winner via unanimous decision is Glover Teixeira. I mean, this was definitely... I mean, I actually was surprised that Glover Teixeira actually won via unanimous decision. I thought that it wasn't going to go the distance, to be honest. What did you think about that fight exactly with these two?
I think they called it right. Score straight, you know. Quentin would come up with some good combinations, but he wouldn't capitalize on it. He just wouldn't go forward. He would score and retreat back, but he was tired, possibly out of shape. I don't know. He looked like a tired man.
Well, you know, and I've said this before, and I mean, I keep just saying this again and again, that it's getting to that point where he needs to retire. I mean, do you feel he needs to retire now?
No, I think he could still go a little longer.
How much longer do you feel that he needs to go though before? I mean, he's not the same anymore, and it's not even because of the fact he's the aging. I mean, the age is not a factor with Anderson Silva, for instance, or it's not a factor to many other fighters still. So what is the factor with Rampage Jackson that he's not the same anymore? You think his heart's dying, desire? What exactly is it?
I don't know. It's hard to see where he's at right now. But hey, he's got the movie business and nothing else to fall back on.
And that may be another thing too. I mean, and I like I said, I personally think he should retire and get in more movies.
Yeah, that'd be great for him.
You know, and then some people would say he should get into boxing. No.
He's got nothing to prove. He's fought everybody already.
Exactly. So
World champ. What more can you say?
I'm not dismissing him right now. I'm just saying that he should just go to more movies, forget the fight business, and just move on in his life and just make more money that way.
Relax. Open a school.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah. I mean, that'll be a great thing for him. And speaking of great things, the UFC Flyweight Championship in the main event, which is champion Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson versus John Dodson, and the winner, and still the UFC Flyweight Champion Demetrious Johnson via unanimous decision, a 5-round war. I mean, wow. I mean, and actually the first true rounds, Demetrious Johnson was doing pretty good, but Dodson was hitting him too with some power shots, knocking him down like several times. Even though Demetrious Johnson has had him taken down a few times and so forth, man, I mean, what really changed the tide was the fact that, of course, Dodson was starting to get tired a little bit, and he was starting to throw some sloppy haymakers a little bit here and there. But even during like the fourth round, what was really beginning the end was that Johnson had Dodson on the fence with so many clutches. Well, actually, he had him kneed in the below the belt. It was an accident because that's the curse sometimes of being too fast.
Groin.
In the grind, yeah, it's been being too fast, so he had to take a break on that. And on top of that, I guess the rule is that if someone's hand is on the ground, even though he's not on his knees, but he's on his 2 feet and his hands on the ground, you cannot do a legal knee to the head. So he also kneed him in the head and the eye, and Joe Rogan does have a good point. I think it's a stupid rule too, that it's supposed to be illegal while you're supposed to have your hands on the ground. So what happened was he had him clinched up on the fence. He had him knees in the head as long as his hands were up. But once his hands were down, he would knee him in the hamstrings. So that was a very good strategy on the part of Demetrious Johnson. And he was just taking a pound, and in the fifth round, it wasn't really any better. And on top of that, he only had one takedown to Demetrious Johnson, which Demetrious Johnson had about several on Dodson. So I mean, what do you think about the decision? What do you think about that fight in general overall?
I think you laid it out just perfectly. Wish my boy Dodson was the one. You know, I've seen a lot of his fights in Albuquerque. You know, being he's our homeboy, but he'll be around. There'll be a rematch on that.
There's gonna be a rematch at some point. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait either.
Because that was an excellent fight.
It was. I loved it.
That was an excellent fight, and we'll see what happens in the next one. But needless to say, I think it's an excellent fight, an excellent event overall, and I just can't wait till next week's event, which will be Frankie Edgar against Jose Aldo.
Wow.
Exactly. So, anyways, is any last words before we go?
No. Thank you guys, man. We enjoyed sharing with you, and it was wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you for inviting me to your house once again.
No problem, man. We'll keep doing it.
Oh, yeah. This is Bear Thunder Heart. I will get going, so See ya and have a great weekend, everybody. Healing. It is all that is.